But, I think that the thing that led me into this role and that I love so much about it is that ability to nurture relationships for life and just that deeper connection with people that, they're like family.
Going once, going twice, sold. You're listening to The Property Pod.
All right, guys, welcome to The Property Pod, your weekly engagement into real estate here in the Hobart Marketplace. I am your host, Aaron Horn, and I'm joined by our team member or director of all things 414 Property, Patrick Berry.
Finally my time to shine because John's not in the studio today.
I know, that's where I got stuck on my intro. I was just like, normally I'd throw to John first, then to you, but today it's all you, buddy. How are you?
Excited. Really excited.
Yeah, you've got a fair bit going on at the moment. I know you're kind of here, there, everywhere. You're racing off to Deloraine, Wynyard.
Wynyard tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes.
Yep.
So you're up there for the BMX state titles for your son?
I am, and last night at training he decided to go over the handlebars and now is hobbling all around, and we've had the ice packs and the DP'd on him all night.
Just what you want before a big competition. You just want to throw a little bit of extra pain into the situation, but you ride through the pain. That's what it's all about.
That's what he keeps telling me. He'll be right. Like, he can't walk at the moment, but apparently he'll be right.
Excellent. The reason we don't have John in for today is that we have another 414 team member, a brand new addition to the family and a superstar at that.
A superstar of the real estate world. We're excited for our newest team member to join, which is Suz. Hello, Suz.
Oh, g'day, guys.
That is the quietest intro I've ever heard from you, Suz. It's like this little, subtle hello.
Sounded like a little mouse, but
I've got to ease into it.
we've quickly learnt that you're not a little mouse, Suz. You're a ball of energy and a ball of passion for all things real estate and all things life, really.
Definitely.
And feeding you all. I think you've learnt that already.
Yeah, Suz, you've only been here a couple of days, and I tell you what, between the sausage rolls and the mint slice and banana bread. Oh yeah, that was the best out of the three of them. That was really good. Definitely showing Sam up on the cooking front, that's for sure.
We're yet to see that.
Yeah, he talks a big game, this pastry chef Sam.
I walk it.
Well, welcome along and welcome to 414. For all those people out there that don't know you in the local industry or listeners we've got a few listeners on the mainland, etc., and here, there, everywhere. Can you kind of introduce yourself to the Property Pod family?
Yeah, look, guys, firstly, thank you so much. It's been a really warm welcome over the last week. So we're clocking up our first week today, actually.
Which is exciting. I can't believe it's been 7 days already. That's gone so fast.
I know. And look, everyone from reception through to property management and the team and you guys as well, and especially you and Seb as well, Aaron. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, everyone's made us feel really welcome. So it has been literally like joining the family for myself and Laura. So obviously there's a little bit about us. It's not just myself, it's Laura as well. So for us, it's obviously been a fairly big decision to join the family.
Yeah, so you've been in real estate for how long, Suz?
Nearly 7 years.
7 years, that's crazy. And over that time you've helped countless people across the northern suburbs area. So your main working area would normally be sort of that Newtown to Baghdad area.
Yeah, we say the flannelette curtain.
Nice. Nothing wrong with that. I love it.
And we love it. We wouldn't do anything else. We've been offered various different gigs along the way, and it's our crew. We love helping the real people, we call it. We relate to the real people. Be careful there.
Real Housewives of Moona and Glenorchy.
But I think it's because we live and breathe it. I mean, obviously everyone that knows me knows that I'm a bit of a farm girl and I've got a little mini farm. We'll go into that a bit later, I guess. But I live in Baghdad and Laura's at Brighton, so we know it well and we love it and we live and breathe it. So
I think that's a big difference is definitely if you sell in your own backyard, you have a different appreciation for it and a different passion for it. Aaron and I, we're Glenorchy boys through and through. And
absolutely.
I love Glenorchy. Yeah. Growing up here, you talk to people on the Eastern Shore or Sandy Bay or Kingston and they're like, ooh, Glenorchy, it's dangerous out that way. But it's not. It's such a good place.
And realistically, it's where everyone can afford to be and it's where we've seen the biggest growth. And I think it's great and it's what I love to relate to and I wouldn't do anything else.
So you've been in the game 7 years in real estate. Yeah, nearly 7 years. Give us the rundown prior to that.
I think that just the ability. So, I mean, obviously a lot of people that know me, it was my long career in retail and that sort of, a lot of estate manager roles in retail and that kind of thing. Yep. I've done a lot of things from insurance to finance to retail and we had a graphic design studio in a retail space before. But, I think that the thing that led me into this role and that I love so much about it is that ability to nurture relationships for life and just that deeper connection with people that, they're like family. And then that I think that's why Laura and I do so well as a team, that we do connect with people on a much deeper level, and that you can actually really help people through that, and that really show that empathy through that stage of it isn't. 9 times out of 10, we're not selling homes for a nice reason. Let's be honest.
Look, and I can vouch for that. Even before you came to work with us, on occasions we'd work together on different property sales.
Absolutely.
And it's another level, the way you connect with the purchasers and expecting nothing from it at your end when you're dealing with another
Absolutely.
agency. You're there to help the purchaser get to the next property
Absolutely.
location.
Yeah.
And I've seen that firsthand, and it's amazing how you make them feel comfortable, reassure them so that they can move forward. And it's really
And it's
good.
all about giving. And I think, just being in an industry that we're in, Pat, and you know this so well as well, it's all a big tall poppy syndrome, and it can be quite it's a tough industry, and you need to have thick skin, as we all know. But I think to not lose what you're about in this amount of time is a big thing. And to not to lose that, that's all about kindness and giving back and generosity. And at the end of the day, just being a good human.
Yeah, definitely couldn't agree more on that front.
It's funny being the outsider in the room and not selling and just kind of being the guy that fell into this. Like, I've had numerous careers as well as a school teacher at one stage. I've managed bars, I've managed restaurants, kind of come across the gamut of all these things. But once you find your passion and you're kind of into it and you can kind of bring all those skill sets from elsewhere, you kind of find the success. So rather than kind of being like, I'm so money hungry and greedy and I just want to make the big bucks, it's
Absolutely.
like, no, my role is to help people kind of
Absolutely.
find their next home and have a place.
Yeah.
It kind of brings success because you've brought all your worldly knowledge from elsewhere together into that. So I think it's
really
amazing.
funny. When I meet people, or you're in a room with people, or you might go and have coffee with someone, and it's like, this is my friend, she sells real estate, and it's like, no, that's not really what I do. I help people.
Yeah.
And you're mainly a psychologist or a cleaner or a gardener, or so all of those other things that you do along with it as well. There's just so much of.
And I don't think all real estate agents are like that. I know myself and John will go out and help a purchaser get stuff done. John especially, he gets in his work gear and he's out there fixing a hole in a wall.
Oh, well, 2 weeks ago on the podcast, you would have seen him in his workwear John. I actually love when workwear John shows up and you're like, oh, what's he up to today?
Like last week, I had a property of ours where the back door handle broke when I was showing the home, and the handle itself, it's completely stuffed. Couldn't lock the house, couldn't secure it. So we went down to Bunnings, bought another
everything.
door handle, and it literally swapped them out, rang the owners up and said, we've got new keys for you to get back into your
Yeah,
house
how good
because
is
we've
that?
had to. Now, there's agencies out there that don't do that, but I think that's really what people need to understand is that these days it's so much more than just selling a house. Like,
Absolutely.
real estate, we are whatever we need to be to get the job done.
Absolutely, and we always have this conversation, Laura and I, that we've got a new little tagline. I guess it's over and above, and what we said to you the other day, Pat. And I mean, there are so many agents now in the game at the moment, and you really do have to be shine, and you have to be different, and you have to be giving so much more now to be chosen. So we're up against sometimes listing, especially in the northern suburbs, where you're up against 5 or 6 other agents. So.
Yep.
You have to, not only do you have to do so much more in your marketing and your coffee vans and your flowers and your biscuits, but you have to do so much more as a person as well. And that's the biggest thing that we.
Yeah, well, I think 90% of listings are won on connection with the client.
First off,
So,
absolutely.
brand, colours, like
Absolutely.
marketing is all irrelevant. It comes down to how somebody trusts the agent.
Totally.
And there's definitely one skill set you've got, Suz, is that when you walk into a room, people instantly get that feeling of...
Absolutely. And I think the first thing is to that instant connection. And I guess what we're really fortunate that, Pat, over this, and it's taken a while, obviously, that we're now pretty much 100% referral business, which in a small town like Tassie and City is a powerful thing.
Oh, big time. Absolutely big time.
Obviously we're looking at clocking up, I think, the 6 listings since we've been here, mate, which I'm pretty proud about.
Yeah, that is an impressive start, Susan. I have to say that's probably one of the best starts we've seen from one of the agents that work for us.
We're looking at, having a massive, probably our biggest month in real estate with you guys this month, and obviously a bit of pressure on myself and to get that happening. But that is purely all referral business now. So hopefully the change, everyone's been noticing it, the change with the, and that's another thing, that the branding and what you guys do with the marketing. So hats off to you, Aaron, as well.
Oh, thank you very much.
You guys do a beautiful job, and the photography. We've obviously had a few shoots yesterday, and just the way you guys work together is just it's an amazing thing. So
now you keep mentioning Laura as well. For the people that don't understand, you work in conjunction with Laura as a teammate.
absolutely,
So
she's very
Colin,
much
obviously Suz and Laura team is like how you guys like to refer to yourself. It's never just one person.
Oh,
Do you want
absolutely.
to sort of give the listeners a rundown on how the dynamic works with you guys and how
Very
that
much,
allows you to offer that better service to everybody?
Yeah, very much so. So Laura is just an absolute massive part of me.
Yep.
I really, you can see my face light up already whenever I talk about her. She's, I just can't thank that girl enough for what she's done for me over the last 5 years. So there's no it's the saying's not a team, but there's no me without Laura. So there was no way I was, obviously coming across without her. That was a big thing. And she is just not only a physical presence with me, with physically getting the job done and being able to write the volume that we do, but emotionally as well. So when we're having a bit of a bad run on things, and we might have a few things happen. Emotionally, we support each other as well. But we just sense of humour wise as well. You've noticed, Pat,
you two have very quirky humour, that's for sure. And you definitely do connect very well with each other. I've listened to the way you guys work next to each other. I'm lucky enough to sit next to you both at the moment.
Or unlucky.
Only time will tell.
I definitely didn't go and sneak off for a coffee yesterday. No, just joking. No, it's amazing. Suz, the way that Laura keeps you on track and keeps you organised and has you going where you need to be, but then vice versa. You're like, Laura, we need to have this job done by this, and she's always all over it. And I've only witnessed it for such a short period of time, but to know that you almost don't need to talk to each other to get the job done.
Yeah, and she is. I mean, obviously, I stole her from my ex-boss.
Okay, yeah, so that's where I was going to go with this. Like, so how did the relationship form, and how did you guys make a team?
I always loved her anyway when she was employed because she started off as a receptionist, and I was like, oh, this girl's going to go places. Like, she's always been so disciplined and determined, and she's always been pretty feisty, which I love. I love that.
A bit of fire in the belly.
Yeah. And
don't mess with me.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we need that. Like, I need that with what we do.
Yep.
Together. And so she's always been so, her work ethic is with mine. I mean, there's no good having one person in the team that's lagging and dropping the load. So
well, that's the first breakdown to a team, isn't it?
Correct.
If one's doing all the work and the other one's just riding the coattails, it just doesn't work.
You mean like pressing all the buttons and controlling all the sounds?
Yeah, and the other one's just sitting there
leading the conversation. Yeah,
with his leg up on his knee,
something
drinking
like
coffee.
Yeah, must be nice.
And then, so basically, now I've lost my train of thought. Thanks.
We take stabs at each other all the time.
And so basically, look, it was through a lot of conflict. So I had been a PA for my sister, and then that obviously didn't work out. She left, and they threw me into the sales role and said, "Here you go. This is."
Oh wow! Okay, so what a transition you've kind of come full circle. Yeah,
I was never a good PA. Admin isn't my role.
You're the people person to be out there doing that.
Yeah. So basically, look, it just led on pretty quickly from there, and I had a PA that didn't work out for me, and I wanted Laura, right or wrong, but I was like, no, I want to steal her.
Yeah.
So it was for a very frank chat and discussion that I was like, I want her. It was done pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And we just took off. And there's been Laura works completely autonomously. So our communication is very, very clear, and we communicate on the daily, but it's so seamless. And it's like we just know what each other's thinking and doing, and it's quite uncanny.
I think it's really nice that you can go list a house, Suz, because at the end of the day with this team, you go out and list the properties, and then Laura gets them up and running, and then you attend the open homes, and Laura comes with you to the open homes, and you guys manage the buyers together.
Absolutely.
And I think it's so nice to know that you can just go list the property, bring the piece of paper in the agency agreement, hand it over to Laura, and just know that 14 days time I'm going to turn up on Saturday morning at this property, and everything's just going to be done.
And she's so reliable. I mean, this girl, no matter how sick she is or what's happening in her life, she's just there.
We'll have to make sure she listens to this. Like, if she's ever having a down day, she can just be like, I wonder when that Sue said that lovely stuff about me on the podcast.
If she likes me. And I think too, I do spoil her a bit. I mean, she knows, I think, that what she means to me.
Yep.
And I think that, there's definitely no way I could perform at this level with this volume without her.
Yep.
And coming on board here, that was a big part of it, that we were definitely coming over as more of a team. I think because a lot of agents that are, they're at this level, it's all about them. And you see the poor PA, they don't even know who that person is.
Yeah, sure.
So it's definitely more about us.
Yep.
And like I said, she's a massive part of the team. And I think that the other thing is that vendors need to know that, a lot of agents, once they get their contract, a lot of agents forget about them. That's just like, contract in, conveyance, they're good. Laura just follows them like,
like a bad smell. But a beautiful smell.
A demon, should we say. So everything's just so smooth, and the transaction is just so smooth until the end, and we're just, we're both there. So you get two of us, which is a powerful
It's obvious that the policy and procedures that you guys have set up work incredibly well because of the amount of referrals that you guys get back. So kudos to you guys. You've definitely developed a system that works.
Absolutely.
And works incredibly well, because you wouldn't get the amount of sales referrals. And being with you in such, in only the last week, I've literally witnessed 2 phone calls come in and people you didn't know from a bar of soap and have said, Suz, we want you to list our house because
Absolutely.
like the one the other day with the garage sale, that blew my mind. Like
I heard this one, yeah.
So
Run
for
through the story for the listeners.
Yeah, so for our listeners don't know, there was a lady that rang up and said she wanted you to go appraise a house, Suz.
She didn't even know my last name.
And all she knew was that Suz had to sell my house. And when you dive deeper into it, it was a guy that attended Saturday's garage sale
in Toulouse
and he bought
Street.
half the stuff off her and said, what are you doing with the house? And it flew on from there. And he said, you need to ring this person. Like,
Absolutely. Do not sell with anyone.
to have that sort of connection with people and to have that ability for them to refer you without even questioning it, it showcases that you guys have definitely got some amazing things put in place.
Yeah.
And something we're really excited about working with you guys moving forward to implement into our team as well. So
we can't wait to share that. And I think already, like I said, for the sales team to be so welcoming to us as well. And we're people that we just really love seeing everyone do well. So whatever we can share with the team as well, that's what we want to do.
I love that. That all sounds really good.
Moving away from real estate, like obviously
Do we have to? That's all I do.
We can. I know
No,
that's
you
what
help
you do.
people.
Yeah, you said yourself. Tell us a little bit about your farm. Like I think
babies.
I just find it fascinating that you have
I know,
a little
look at
mini
me.
farm.
Look
Like,
at me. Everyone's like, you roll around with your pigs.
like it just amazes me. Here you are on Monday to Saturday. You're driving the Mustang. You're selling houses. You're doing everything. But then you got your own little
full of makeup.
You got your own little piece of paradise out there at Baghdad that people wouldn't expect, I guess, and it's probably a little secret that people probably don't know about you.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. I think from the time I was about 2 years old, and my poor mum, I used to probably carry around something with me a cat, a dog, a mouse, and whatever it was, a rabbit. So I've always surrounded myself with many animals.
Yeah.
We've always sort of grown up with either having a lot of animals, and my parents bred German Shepherds and showed them from I was a wee thing. So I was handling big male German Shepherd dogs from when I was a whippersnapper.
Yeah, wow.
So we've always had a real, affiliation for animals and being around them, surrounded with them. And so to have now, I've got 2 mini pigs that are pets, but they're like dogs. So Wiggy and Twiggy, shout out to them.
Have you seen the photos?
No,
of pigs?
so I've
love
You
seen
followed
it.
me on Instagram, Aaron. You know.
I think, well, I do. I just haven't done a deep dive stalk enough. Sorry. I'll go stalking the pigs and
Do it
find out.
tonight.
I will do. No, I was just thinking, like, you see those videos of the little toy pigs in the people's houses doing, yours
They're
aren't
not-
like that?
Wiggy was inside when he was a baby because he was like chihuahua size, but now he's like probably pushing 350 kg.
Hot damn.
Big boy.
Oh.
So they don't have them in Australia. They're like American potbellies. So
yeah.
But so they're outside. I've got about 60 chooks and 6 chihuahuas and a cat. So they keep me pretty busy outside of.
So, yeah, my knowledge of your animal loving was I was driving back from Barnbougle the other weekend on a trip, and Pat had always told me, if you're ever driving through Baghdad, you'll always see Suz walking along with 6 little dogs, all hanging around her, phone in the hand, just getting deals done. And I was just like, yeah, whatever, Pat. Like, of course that can't be true. Lo and behold, I'm driving down the highway and there's Suz who's starting on Monday.
You have no idea how true this is because, like, we go to Launceston Wynyard for BMX so often, so we're always on the Midlands Highway, and it's become a game with my kids. Oh, we're almost at Sue's place. Let's see how many dogs she's got today. Like, so that's how often we have
Always be
literally,
6.
we've literally seen you walk that straight so many times, and we pass it all different times a day. So I can only imagine
There
how
she
many times
is.
you walk those dogs, or I just have uncanny ability to.
You're
nail
always on
timing.
the right schedule.
But yeah, it's just become that. It's just part of the scenery when going through Baghdad
I'll
these
be
days.
the crazy old chihuahua lady, I'm sure.
With 2 pigs in tow just coming along.
A cat, 60 chooks. But I think, look, that to be quite honest, that kind of is I'm pretty boring. I don't drink or do anything crazy. So that's kind of my downtime.
Yep.
It keeps me pretty grounded, and it's like if I'm having a pretty crazy day, that's like the go out and,
Yeah, well, look, we've all got to have our things.
Daggies on
Pat's BMX and mountain biking and used to be jet skiing and things like that. But now it's just been a ripper dad taking his son to
Driving all around.
driving around. Yeah, you become an Uber driver.
Pretty much.
Uber Pat. Actually, you mountain bike a little bit now, but generally you're Uber driver for your son to BMX things.
Emotional coach.
Oh, well, yeah. Look,
He gets very worked up at times, and you got to pull him aside and calm him down and convince him that there's another race.
it sounds like you're doing a good job because
you do own a real estate office. There's
There's a bit of negotiation. So you win that next race, mate. There's a bag of chips in it for you. Come on now. So
$5.
always in sales. No, look, we all have our little things, and it's amazing to think that you're so passionate about your farm and also passionate about real estate. And let's say 414 Property Co. But yeah, no, just helping people. I actually really liked when you said that you're not really in real estate, you're in the helping people business.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I really dig that. Thank you so much for coming in and joining us on the podcast
guys.
today. It was an absolute hoot, and I think I want to replace you with John every week. I think it brings a bit of...
Pick me.
Yeah.
Well, it's getting a bit like that. I noticed last week Sam was in here again, so...
I actually really like the rotating roster of seats. It's kind of everyone's kind of getting on board.
Less pressure.
Yeah, true. Very much so.
Mix it up.
But no, thank you to all our Property Pod listeners out there. Anybody that would like to talk to Suz, she would love to talk to you.
Absolutely.
So reach out to her and Laura at any time through their socials, through their phone number. We'll put some details in with that. But yeah, that's the Property Pod for this week. And
see you guys next week.
We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, guys.
See ya. Bye. You have been listening to the Property Pod, recorded and edited by 414 Media House in conjunction with 414 Property Co.
This podcast is general information only, and the thoughts and views expressed is the opinion of our panel, and listeners should always seek then use their own investigation into any topic we discuss to ensure they fully understand their own situation.
It does not constitute and should not be relied on as purchasing, selling, financial or investment advice or recommendations, express or implied, and it should not be used as an invitation to take up any agent or investment services. No investment decision or activity should be undertaken